Well, good morning. It is a truly spectacular morning here in Cornwall. Always is, because the place is bloody beautiful. It's just gone 6 o'clock. Just out for a nice little early morning stroll along the coastline. I just love it so much. It's just so rugged and wild and beautiful. It's just so beautiful here. I just love it so much. I just love like the expanse of ocean that you get in Cornwall. Like you just always feels so free to me, Cornwall. The amount of ocean you've got and the wild rugged cliffs and the amount of sky that you can see uninterrupted. You get amazing stars down here. So yeah, it's just amazing just looking at that expanse of ocean out there. I love it. It's a great way to start the day. It's a really lovely path that I'm walking at the minute. It's just that one behind me, and as you can see, it just goes right next to the sea. So it's really lovely. You just get to walk along and be right beside the sea. You get all these lovely little flowers as well, just growing by the cliff tops, which just look lovely. I've brought my trusty mug of tea with me as well, so I've got that. I've also got a banana in my pocket. I'm not pleased to see you. It's just my breakfast. So yeah, just gonna have that. I'll probably find somewhere to stop in a minute once I've done a bit more walking. To be honest, I'm not that interested right now in making a video, which is probably why I'm not really getting much of myself in shot very well. I keep just looking at the sea. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, just the early morning sunshine on my back there. Don't know if you can see it. It's hard to get it in the camera. Right, I'm gonna go back to my my beautiful walk. So beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's just why I love Cornwall so much. It's just so beautiful here. I always just feel so like held by the place. I think because you get all these like deep coves and that, it's just sort of like so easy to feel really like in the earth, if that makes sense, but equally like on top of the world at the same time. So it's sort of like I like that feeling that you get with Cornwall. It's just so beautiful. Look at the size of this guy. He is a massive slug. I mean, you probably can't tell because it's on video, but he's like the size of like a big man's finger. It's huge. I'm just walking out on this little peninsula little bit that's dropped out. There's another lovely little cove down there. It's just absolutely stunning. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. think this is why I feel like on top of the world when I'm here, because it just, yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It's just amazing. It's such an amazing place to come. I'm just sat on Karen's bench, drinking my cup of tea. I really like sitting on benches made for the dead. I think just because, I don't know, I suppose it makes me like ponder life and death when I'm in a beautiful space, and it makes me appreciate more the view that I'm seeing because I'm alive to see it and a lot of people aren't. And even though I don't know these people who these benches are for, I always think about them and imagine sort of the person that they were, because a lot of times there's sort of like a little message from the family, like on this one, remembering our free spirit, or another one it would be for, you know, a loving grandma or something. And it yeah, it's just nice. It's nice to sort of like meditate on that person, even if you didn't know them personally, just to remember them and give thanks for their life and for your life and for the beauty that surrounds us every day. Even though there's, you know, this life is filled with grief, it's filled with beauty as well. So it's good to remember that. So I'm onto another bench, the bench of Commander, I think that stands for, CDR, Commander Martin Butcher, MBE. So must have done something good in his time. So yeah, just enjoying the view from his bench now. So it's quite nice. Benches for the dead, you get to rest your legs for a minute. I hope when I die somebody leaves me a bench somewhere nice, somewhere beautiful, and then other people can have a little rest and think about me. So yeah, it's been just such a lovely walk this morning. It's just so beautiful. Just a place you feel really like at peace at. It's just really, really peaceful here. It's funny, I've been really sort of thinking recently about like where home is, because obviously I lived in Cornwall for 10 years, but all my family's in Hampshire, and it's funny what makes home, you know, because it's not necessarily a structure, because I think very much now like my van is home and that's mobile, but I feel as well home is also people. It's the people that you love, and you can meet people that feel really like home to you. And then I also feel like there's the home that you get from land, and I don't mean the physical, like, you know, owning of land. I mean like the feel of the land of different places. And I feel like different lands suit different people, you know, we're all called to different places for different reasons. And I really feel like that with Cornwall, like the land here just really, it just feels like home to my body. And like the same with like the sea air, it's just I just feel very at peace here. Whereas where my family is it's home because they're there and I love seeing them, but the place doesn't feel like home. I do love the forest. The New Forest really is a really magical place, so I do love that. But I just I love the wild of Cornwall. I love the sort of just like the wild coastline, and I think that's perhaps just because I'm a bit wild, you know. I'm a free spirit, and I just yeah, it suits me here. So I'm looking forward to the next sort of couple of weeks. I've got the rest of the month here, and then I'm back again sort of end of June, beginning of July. Just I've got a bit more cat sitting to do, so that sort of brought me back. But equally I am just pondering staying here for a bit longer, just so I can get some writing done and just sort of enjoy the land. And where it's Cornwall, I know a lot of like good parking spots, like where I was last night. I hadn't actually stayed there before, but I just sort of came across it and it was really good. It was just sort of like another one that's sort of like not a lay-by but not a lane either, sort of like a little mix of the two. And when I got there was a couple of cars in there, and then this morning they'd gone, but a couple of other campers were in there, so I thought, oh, it must be a known little spot that's good. So yeah, that was nice. And it's this is what I like about Cornwall. You do get a lot of places where there's a lot of like campers and other people just sort of like living in caravans or just, you know, doing life a little differently. I feel like it's a place that's full of like down to earth, salt of the earth farmers and quarrymen, and then lots of sort of like more alternative, hippie, arty sort of people. It's a real like nice mix. I think that's why I like Cornwall and why I sort of like fit in here, because it's down to earth, but it's also a little, you know, it's wild as well, wild and creative. But yeah, honestly, I don't know what the time is. I've been on a very long walk, but I haven't particularly done an awful lot in distance. I've just sort of done a lot of sitting and watching the scenery, but that's a good walk for me. I made it to the water's edge, got down onto the beach, just enjoying the sound of the ocean up close. It's just really nice. I think once I've had enough of the beach, I'm going to head back to my van, get another cup of tea on the go, because this one's empty now, and yeah, have a bit of breakfast. I've just come off the beach, and now I'm just sort of heading back towards my van, just crossing this lovely little stream that's going down to the sea, and walking across this lovely little wooden bridge. And what's really nice about this bridge, it's got a nice little plaque on it. We've been sitting on benches for the dead. Well, this is a bridge for the dead, but it's for a dead dog, for Sophie the dog. I just thought that was so nice, and she just loved to swim in this little stream that's just here. And it's the first time I've seen a little plaque like that for somebody's dog, and I just thought, oh, that's so lovely. So yeah, I'll just stand here a little moment and think about nice little Sophie dog swimming in this gorgeous little stream. So I'm just having a little sit down on Paul's bench now. I think this might be the last bench of the walk. So yeah, just enjoying the last of the views. Getting quite the rumble on, considering whether to tuck into my banana, because I have got it in my pocket, but I might save it for when I get back to my van and have it on some porridge. I feel a little, feel in the mood for something a bit more substantial than just a banana. So yeah, I think banana porridge and honey, fresh pot of tea, that'll do the job. Well, what an absolutely glorious morning it is. I've just got back from my walk. It was just absolutely stunning, as you can see from the video. It's just so beautiful, and it's just such a gorgeous day today. Came back, got a summer dress on because I was sweating in my combat. So yeah, summer dress. Even got my legs out and everything today. So yeah, just gonna sit here and have my porridge, which I think might also be catching little bugs because I've got my door wide open. Bit of extra protein. Get that out. yeah, I've got myself a nice pot of tea on the go as well. So yeah, I am ready for breakfast now. But yeah, this is just, it's such a lovely spot. I really love when you get a place where you just got a good parking spot and then a really nice little place where you can go for like a little walk or a little stroll. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing good. I'm finding a good few spots now where I can do just that, because I really love just getting out and having a little stroll, just either like before breakfast or after dinner, just like stretching my legs a little bit. I feel like it does me good, especially after I've been like, you know, sleeping all night, or if I've been, you know, sat all day. It's just good to get a bit of movement. Oh, I might have to shut my door a little bit. There's a little bit of breeze and it's just catching my flame a little bit. I haven't got too much planned for today. It's absolutely glorious. So, half tempted to perhaps go for a dunk in the sea somewhere. Maybe do that later. I could definitely do with going to the shops and getting myself a bit more fresh food. I'm all out of fruit, so that's usually my like cue to go shopping, because I've always got sort of van food, you know, a few like tins of stuff just to keep me going. But you know, or some like dried stuff. But it's nice to have fresh fruit and veg. I just feel in such a good mood today. I don't think it's just the sunshine that's putting me in a good mood. Yesterday I vaped some DMT. I've smoked DMT before, but I've never tried vaping it. A friend had some, so asked if I wanted some, so I said yeah. And see, I am I am concentrating on you, but I'm also like stirring my porridge as well, which I might just sort of leave it in a minute. I've just put on a fresh gas canister, and I find when you first put on the new gas canisters on these little camp stoves that I'm using, which is this one, the flames like even more like intense and fiery, whereas when it sort of starts getting to the end of the gas canister, it's a bit less ferocious, shall we say. Yeah, as I was saying, anyway, I was vaped some DMT yesterday, and it was my first experience of vaping it. Now I have used a vape before. I vaped for a little bit when I was trying to like quit cigarettes, and then I've also vaped cannabis as well. So it wasn't something that was completely new to me, but I was intrigued to see sort of how the experience would differ from vaping it to smoking it. But to be honest, there was no difference. You were still just sort of essentially blasted off out of your body to some other realm. And yeah, it was just fantastic. It's honestly, DMT is the most profound, intense experience you could ever have. I truly think that. I don't think there's been any other experience in my life that has been so profound as when I've smoked DMT. And honestly, if you feel like you'd like to do it or feel called to it, like, I'd really listen to that and go and get that experience for yourself. But obviously, if it's not something that appeals to you, don't do it, because it's, you know, it is very intense, but just so incredible. It's just so profound. Profound is the right word. I don't really know what else to sort of say apart from it's incredible and it's profound, and it just completely blows your mind. It really does blow your mind with with all that you get to see and experience. And it's like the colours that you get to see are like the most intense colours. Like, you can't imagine how intensely like bright they are. It's like having, you know, really cheap paint and then having paint that's like really richly pigmented. It's like that. You see these colours which are so vivid, and it's funny, there's times when I've had DMT experience and it just feels like that place that you are when you're on the DMT is like more real than reality. It's yeah, it's bizarre. It's sort of it has completely changed my perspective on life and death somewhat as well with my experiments with DMT, and it's something that I will continue to use as and when it's sort of there, or I feel the need to, a bit like with ayahuasca and the same with magic mushrooms and cannabis. I feel like they're all great tools to me. Like, yeah, meditation, cannabis, DMT, magic mushrooms, ayahuasca. You got those in your life, I think you can, you can figure out a lot for yourself and overcome a lot of, your traumas and your mental sufferings and your sort of, bullshit thinking. Basically, it really helps just clean everything out and give you sort of like a fresh state to work from, like a complete like system upgrade. It's like that. It's like if you have a computer, you just gotta upgrade it, and sometimes you gotta sweep it of all like the cache files and like clear it out. I feel like it's a bit like that with the human brain. We just end up collecting a lot of crap that we just don't need to carry around with us, and it's good to just have a complete flush out of that. And I found that high strength psychedelics do that for me very well. So yeah, but I know they're not for everyone, but they most definitely are for me and give me a lot of benefit to my life. So I'm incredibly thankful to all the plant medicines, because they've helped me so much in my life, and to just sort of just be very much like at peace with everything. Even today, like wearing this like little summer dress with my legs out. Like I used to hate getting my legs out because they're wonky and scarred, and they they look weird. So I used to hate that. I'd want to like cover them up all the time. Whereas now it's sort of like I love them. I love them, and they do look different, and people do stare at me at times, and it just doesn't bother me anymore. It's just sort of like, this is who I am. This is the body that I've got, and all my sort of scars and wonkiness, they're all like, show the life that I've lived. They're like my story. So I sort of think, I don't know, if if you don't like all of this, then that's fine, but it just doesn't bother me anymore. Whereas I think before it would bother me. It did bother me if people would stare, or it would bother me if people were like grossed out by my scars. Whereas now I'm just like, no, my scars are really cool, you know. So, so yeah, but it's funny, we can end up living these very sort of restricted lives because we believe all these sort of like bullshit things, like that our legs aren't beautiful, and we have all these sort of negative stories going, when actually it's like, no, all of you is beautiful. Just be who you are, wear what you want to wear, and if it's a nice sunny day, get your little summer dress on. It doesn't matter. Um, so so yeah, it's good. It's good to sort of like question your thoughts at times and really question, are they actually serving you, or not. So and you've got to do that, because it's so short. Life is so short. It's too short to not live it joyously, and as yourself. you know so yeah, go out there, be joyful, and be yourself for the day. Just gotta say, how nice does this porridge look? It just looks so nice and creamy. I've got quite the big pot of porridge, because I had sort of like, I poured in the milk that I needed, but it just left sort of like a silly little bit of milk in the carton. So I was like, oh, I'll just dunk it all in. And after I walk around, I'm quite hungry anyway, so I just thought, oh, bugger it, just have a nice big bowl of porridge. Yeah. So yeah, porridge and banana. I've loved porridge for so long. When I was a kid, I used to love ready brek. That would be my like chosen breakfast. Most of the time would be ready brek. And then it was just one of sort of like the first things that I then started to learn to make, because Mum would show me how to make it. And it's funny. I remember once when I was still actually, the reason why she showed me how to make my own ready brek is because she was really like busy one morning. So I thought, I'd help her by making my own breakfast. but I didn't know back then sort of like, you know, how to do it. So I just sort of like poured in so much ready brek. I didn't know sort of, you know, the measurements. So I just we ended up making this like massive pot of ready brek. My mum came down. She got a little annoyed at first because I think she was just a bit, you know, busy, stressed mum. But she was like, "What are you doing? You've made enough porridge to feed the whole neighbourhood." So yeah, she was a bit like, "Right, that's it. You're gonna be eating your ready brek for the next week." But I think I did have a very large bowl of ready brek that morning. But it was alright. She didn't make me eat the ready brek for dinner as well. Although, as it turns out, I still do seem to make quite the considerable amount of porridge. I've got to say, do prefer porridge now to ready brek. Very occasionally I'll have ready brek, but it's more if I'm like at somebody's house and then sort of want a little, you know, I see it there and then I'm like, oh, I'll have a little bowl of nostalgia. But for the most part, it's porridge for me now, and I think I just prefer it. It's got a bit more texture, whereas ready brek is very, you know, it's very fine. And I always put collagen into my porridge as well. Especially now that I'm not really having a coffee. When I used to drink a coffee of a morning, which I'd sort of put milk in, I put my collagen in that. Whereas I don't really want collagen in my tea. It doesn't really, yeah, doesn't work. So yeah, it goes into my porridge now. Or sometimes if I'm having a hot chocolate, I'll put it into that as well. But it's just collagen. It's just really good for like your joints. I think it's also good for your tummy as well, for your gut health. But I use it just for my joints, just because my joints are a bit questionable at times. I just find it really, yeah, just helps. Or I'm hoping as well it will be of benefit long term. Just as I age, it will help sort of like my joint health stay good for as long as possible. Because yeah, my joints are a little like it's not just that they're sort of a bit. Sorry, my phone just flashed up with, "Your phone storage is too full. You can't make any more videos." So I just had to go and delete some things. But yeah, as I was saying, my joints are a bit funny. It's not just that they're a bit sort of like creaky and crunchy already. It's that they're also sort of deformed. They're not like quite like normal joints. So it just sort of makes things a bit more difficult for if I were to potentially need like surgery in the future or to have any joint replacements. It's a bit more of like a tricky surgery because nothing about me is sort of like standard. So yeah, where I sort of didn't come out the cookie cutter box like all the other cookies, yeah, it just makes things a little, you know, more difficult for me if I do need to have surgery or, you know, operations done. Yeah, it's just more of a more complex. So it's just why I just even more so just really do try and like future proof myself and really just take care of myself, because if I do need any subsequent surgery in the future, it is, you know, it's complex surgery. It isn't just sort of, you know, run of the mill. So yeah, it's a big driving force really for me to just always keep on top of my health and to just really, yeah, take care of myself. And my diet is something that has been like, I think the hardest thing for me to work on, because I love food and I love to eat, and it's like food's been a massive comfort for me and probably still is. So yeah, that's just something that I'm always sort of like working on and trying to sort of keep my weight down, not sort of, you know, get too podgy, which again is hard because I love cakes and pies. but on the overall, I do try and, you know, eat a lot of you know, fruit, veg, and meat and fish. So, you know, and move my body. So yeah, that's just sort of like work in progress. But I think I'm going to leave the video there now, because I'm sure my phone is going to shout at me again soon and say you haven't got any more storage. So I think I shall be spending the day sorting out my phone, putting some stuff on my hard drive, and yeah, sorting out some videos, and yeah, doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm just gonna sit here and eat my nice big saucepan of porridge. It's yummy. So yeah, have a wonderful day. It's just absolutely glorious out there. So yeah, have a lovely one.